MinkLife Motivation. And if you are wondering what you're going to do next for your marketing, you have found the right place. So let's get started. Welcome, and I want to introduce my new friend Jean to you, and we are going to talk about brand promise. And I want to get to know a little bit about you. So, why don't you tell us? Wow, there we go. Why are you passionate about helping people with branding through your zone of genius? What is it that just excites you about that? And before you answer, I need to remind all of our viewers that you are our co-host on the couch. Make sure you leave comments, ask questions, and we will put your comments and questions down there too. So tell us why you're passionate about this and a little bit about your zone of genius.
Amazing. And thank you so much, Peggy. Thank you so much, Monica. Mink Life Tribe, thank you all for coming in and joining us on this podcast. My name is Jean-Francois from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And the reason why is because another day in the office and I'm at my desk. And beside me, I hear our head manager. He's congratulating my coworker on another promotion that he's getting. And I had only been there for a few months, but yet again, I'm thinking to myself, like, is this really happening? Am I yet again not being seen? I'm getting overlooked. And I believe that I have more to offer to this company. So I said, no more. I cannot put my life in the hands of others. I know I have the potential to do more. So I said to myself, listen, it's either that you continue on this path working for somebody that is not able to look into your zone of genius, or I actually take it to my own hands and build my own future. So I started going into different businesses, taking different courses, and that's where I found marketing. Marketing is something that's been around for many years, and people have been utilizing it in their personal lives or they've been using it in their own businesses. And I got intrigued. I figured that, hey, if somebody else can do it, I can probably do it too. So I took it upon myself to learn from the best of the best, take the best of the best courses out there. But yet again, I still felt like it wasn't enough. I was still getting overlooked, unseen, and not getting the results. So I said to myself yet again, I have to put myself in a better position than I actually was. So I started thinking I have to now find other ways of marketing. So I went out and put my best foot forward. I started doing things that I wasn't accustomed to. And I started speaking to different people in different businesses. And that's where I found out that they have the same struggles that I had. They were also getting overlooked and they were also not being seen. Their products and services weren't being put in the right hands. People that actually have a problem and I need to actually resolve that problem. So that's when I started implementing everything that I learned in the past and using that in their business. And that's where they started getting results. And one client after another, they were finally being able to be seen. And that's how I got motivated and continuing my brand, which is Turning Up Live Media, and helping impacting local entrepreneurs to be able to be successful in their businesses.
I love that. And I think that I think a lot of us struggle with that, like not being seen. Like I have this thing and it's so awesome, but I'm the only one that knows about it, you know. My uncle, my cousin, they know about it, but nobody else knows about it. And so I think that being able to be seen and be heard, and have the ability to use your genius to not just help yourself be seen and heard, but to help those around you. And I think I kind of feel the same way. That's kind of where I'm at. I feel like um, my struggles as a photographer were always finding the clients. I used to think that if I was the best photographer out there, that the clients would just magically come to me. If I had the best prices and I had the best product, then duh, it's a no-brainer. But that's not how business works. That's not how marketing works. And I think, I always say I ran a successful hobby for 15 years before I realized that a photography business was actually a business. But that's so important, is being seen and being heard. And that's literally what marketing is about: your brand, showing people your brand, and bringing that out so that people can actually see you. So I love that. I love that. All right.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Now I have another question for you. Why is having a brand promise in your social media presence important for a professional to thrive in their life and business? So, not just having social media presence, but having a brand promise and really bringing something to the table with that.
Great question, Peggy. And what happens now in today's time is if you're not really focused on getting out that right message and that right image to the market, people won't relate with you. People won't see them getting the results with your product or service. So that's why when we were actually putting out our messaging and the branding that we use, which is either the color scheme or the representations of the imaging, it gives that person that confidence before even coming into your zone of business or being able to even see you physically or maybe digitally, that you are the solution. So getting that messaging and branding is very crucial for anybody to be able to actually get that right person to really want to work with them. It requires that. It's a must.
Absolutely. And I think it's important that people understand that when I think sometimes people hear branding and they think about your colors or they think about your logos, but that's not what branding is. Branding is the way that that you stand out, what you represent. And yes, it's represented in your colors and in your logo, but when people see that color and that logo, how does that make them feel? What do they know about you? And that's a big part of using your brand and putting that promise behind that. I mean, if we see a swoosh, we know, okay, we know what we're getting, right? We don't have to be told. They have spent thousands of millions of dollars marketing and saying, like, hey, these are quality shoes that are going to help you run faster, and you can be a champion if you wear our shoes. And we know that, we feel that, because we know what that promise is behind that swoosh. And I think it's important that, yes, your colors and your logo, all those things are important, but what's really important is that promise that those colors and that logo carries. What promise is that say? What do people know when they see that, and what is your promise that you put out there? And if you don't have a promise and you're not consistent in your messaging, in other words, if you're saying one thing on this platform and something else on that platform, and then when they show up, you're acting and treating them a completely different way, then there's no promise. There's nothing in that logo but a pretty picture and a pretty color. It doesn't carry that promise. So I think that's what's really important about that promise.
Agreed. And you said it right there. When it comes to consistency, that is something that needs to continuously be done. People are going to always look for that consistent message to say, okay, I actually saw it last time. They're saying it again this time. All right, it seems that they're actually doing this. And when you're getting like your reviews or you're hearing other people talk about it, you're like, okay, this company is very trustworthy. I actually will give it a chance. People are always looking for that trust. and it takes sometimes a long time to build it up. So if we're consistent with our message and our branding, then it definitely works in our favor.
Absolutely. I think, integrity is always something that's important, and that trust is built by consistency. I like that. We were talking off camera about like showing up online all the time and all that, but those are things that are important, but what's most important is that it's a consistent message, and then those message that you have are consistent when people actually show up and do business with you. All right, it is time to get inspired now. So life happens, problems happen. We're not always the perfect people that you see in front of you right now. We have grown and struggled. So I want you to tell us a story. Tell us a time when your messaging was a problem in the past and how you overcame that.
Wow, now that you're actually getting me to think back on good times and also some difficult times. One time that I can really think about was when I first got into high school. And sure, I'm not doing anything kind of business like, but when you're going into a new school and people don't really know you, right? Sometimes as a child, you're trying to, impress. You're trying to do certain things or wear certain things that are going to give you a certain image, right? I'm sure, like many of you, we go through that certain time period where we're not really aware of who we are and we're looking for validation from others. And for me, it was like I had to dress up a certain way to attract certain people, but yet the people that I was attracting, they weren't really the ones that were good for me. They weren't really the ones that I should have been around. So definitely when it comes to how you present yourself, your imaging, it does affect me in that sense, and it affects a lot of us in that sense. And I would say that that was one moment that I will never forget because it shaped me to be able to rethink of how I present myself every single time. So that was one example that that definitely brings back some good and bad memories on that, Peggy.
And I think we've all been through that. I know. I always try to tell a Ron Stoffer antidote while I'm on here. That's my dad. My dad's self-employed. I grew up in an entrepreneurial kind of environment. I didn't you really know anything about corporate life or 9 to 5 jobs. But one thing that he always said was, you know, um, you have to please everyone. Don't do anything that's going to offend anyone. Make sure that there's nothing controversial. Like at home, you can be one way, but when you're in public, you're Ron Stoffer's daughter and you have to, act right, blah, blah, blah. And so when I first started my business, I felt like that. Like I had to be nothing controversial, please everyone, because you never know who might be your client. Well, what I learned was I don't want everybody as my client, and me bringing my message and my voice up and being who I am and the things I believe in and the things that I like and letting those shine through, that what naturally happened was the people that I didn't really want as clients anyway didn't want to come around me anymore, and the people that did like me, and we lined up in our visions and our morals, and the things that we valued, our values, they were attracted to me, like, oh wow, that's cool. I want to be a part of that, because I also am really passionate about working with the unhoused people, or I'm really passionate about this, and look, Peggy's passionate about this too. And so when we're honest with our message and we allow that to come out, then we attract the right people. Before, if you're not specific with your message, then you're going to attract a whole lot of people, but not all money is good money. Because those people, if they're not, if they're not meant to be your clients, they're not going to have a good experience with you, and they're the ones that are going to write the bad reviews, and they're the ones that are going to you know cast a dark shadow on your name. But if you're hanging out with the right clients, you're going to get great reviews, and they're going to tell their friends about you, and it's easier. So you want to always make sure that that message lines up with your values and how you want people to be treated and feel when they're around you. And instead of just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks, because something will stick, but it might not be your ideal client.
I agree. I
Right?
agree. And that's why a lot of us that we get into business, we first start out like not knowing exactly who we want to serve, right? And that's the thing that will actually change how your business model will be, right? If we know who or which audience we're looking to help with their problems, then we can really focus on them. Sometimes we just want to be like a jack of all trades and we want to do everything. We want to help this business and that business, but sometimes those businesses don't really get along. So the approach and the strategies are going to be different. So being very specific on your mission, your core values as a business, but also as a person, it does make a difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, who should we ask for help when we are trying to promote our brand promise? Who should we ask for help?
Great question. And I'll be straight. Ask me, Jean Francois, Turn It Up Live Media. I'm the person to go to. I will figure out the ways that you may not know yet to build up your brand, to build up your business in ways that you haven't thought about. We've gone through the experience, we've gone through the ups and downs. We understand certain markets, and we can actually develop the best way for your company to finally get noticed and seen the way that you'd like to. But other than myself, there are definitely others in your own area that you can definitely reach out to. Just go on Google. Google is our best friend. Sometimes you can just write up, hey, like who's the best marketer in town? And you might see a few names on there, and then just give them a call and then see if they fit what you're looking for. But definitely ask questions, because sometimes we're gonna be falling into the trap of, because they're the expert, I'm just gonna listen to anything that they say. But you gotta be able to figure out if they are the right fit for you. So definitely ask questions when you call them, find out if they're the right fit for you, and then decide if you want to continue on. So go to Google, reach out to different companies, and then seeing if those are the ones that fit your needs.
And I think on top of that, you can follow the footsteps of the people that you find successful in front of you, but you can also, like, ask questions, ask your clients, listen to where your ideal clients are hanging out and what they're looking at and what they're buying, because if you see other companies that are successfully marketing to your ideal clients, then what are they doing? What platforms are they on? What kind of marketing is attractive to them that still lines up with your values? Because, you know, the point is that you want to reach your ideal clients, not just like, for me anyway, I don't need 100,000 followers. I need the followers that are meant for me, because, we see all these numbers and we're all about, like, well, if I have a good social media marketing, then I'm going to have a bazillion followers. But if you don't have the engagement and you don't have the conversions to sell, then all it is a vanity number. You want to make sure that people are hearing your message and your promise and connecting with that. So look around and look at your clients, talk to them, like, have conversations with them, like, in, just as, as you're working with them, just naturally bring up, what else do you like? Oh, where did you see that? Oh, find out what they're looking at and what's working for them, and jump on that. See how you can apply your values and your promise to those kind of platforms and that kind of marketing. So, absolutely. Well,
Agreed.
now this is our last question of the day. Are you ready? We want one tip to build your brand by focusing on your brand message. So, what is one tip that you could give our listeners to really build their brand, focusing on that message, on that promise?
See, this is the one thing that I love because it's one simple thing. And if we actually implement it, it will make a difference, right? As a marketer, I can give you a lot of strategies, but something that you can actually do today is take a paper and just write, who am I? And just list yourself with every single thing that you've experienced. Like, who are you as a person? If you're a family person, like maybe you're a father, maybe you're a mother, write that down. If you're somebody that goes to the gym, write that down. If you're an employee or entrepreneur, or maybe you're a school teacher, write that down, because that's going to build up content to be able to build up messaging around. And you'll have messaging that'll be good for like 30, 40 days, a year even, just on those topics. And it's very simple to do. We don't want to just overcomplicate and just do anything. We want to relate back to people that are similar to us, because that's what's going to be effective. Because we're looking to attract the people that are like us or that were similar to our position. So just write, who are you?
I like that. Who are you? That's just the other day, Monica was doing in a challenge. If you guys want to know about the challenge, you're going to have to go to the MinkLife community. But she was talking about who you are, and how who we are isn't necessarily what we do. Actually, she said it isn't what we do, but I am a photographer. Anyway, all right. So my one tip, I am going to say my one tip is to be authentic. And I think that kind of piggybacks on what he just said, because who am I? And really be real and authentic about that, and let your personality show. Let your freak flag fly. Like, have fun. Make marketing fun, because people like to hang out with fun people, right? So I don't know. That would be my one tip. All right, we are ready for announcements. So, we have heard that you are the go to guy for marketing. So, how can people find you?
That's a great question. And the way to connect with me and connecting with our team is going to our website, which is www.turnituplive.com, and then just booking a call. We'll be able to have a short conversation, seeing where you're currently at, what you're looking to do, and then seeing if we're a good fit for one another. And with that, we'll also give you a complimentary 7-step guide that will actually show you the ways to start off your first marketing strategy and being able to launch your first ad online and being able to get some results. So look me up, www.turnituplive.com, and we'll be looking forward to speaking with you all soon. How about you, Peggy? Any announcements for yourself?
I always have announcements. Thank you for asking. I would love for you to schedule a call with me. I have made a commitment to talk to 10 brand new people every single month. And I'm hoping it'll be more than 10, but I'm trying to do 10 consistently every single month. So I would love for you to be one of those 10. And I would just love to get to know you, know what your business is, what you do, where you're at. So let's chat. Go to headshotstrategist.com/let's chat, and let's sit down and have a conversation and get to know each other. And photographers, I would let me move this. There we go. Um, Photographers, come hang out in my world. Come hang out in the Time Bender world. It is a community designed for professional photographers to hang out, brainstorm, grow, help each other, and have community. So join up, and I can't wait to see you over at the Time Bender community. Now I'm going to give it to Monica.
All right. Thank you very much, Peggy. I am here to help you with your Mink Life motivation announcements. You know, we always have something going on. I mean, always have something going on. But what I want you to remember is you can always check in with us on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. and Thursdays at 2 p.m. for Mink Life Motivation Live. You can join the conversation, be a co host on the couch, and contribute by putting your comments in the chat. But let's say you love what we're doing, but you might not be able to sit around at your computer to watch it because you're on the go. Well, guess what? Just for you, we also have it as a podcast. That's right. All episodes of Mink Life Motivation Live are converted into a podcast and put wherever your podcasts are, wherever your favorite places are, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Go and check us out there. If you think you're cool enough to hang out with us, cool kids, you can hang out with us on screen. That's right. We want you to be on the show. Go to www.minklifemotivation.com/live and fill out an application to be a co host on the screen. The next show that we have coming up is Boost Your Influence with Colleen Struby, and she will be helping you really tap into that networking. I believe that is actually, you know what, that's not accurate. The next show is actually with Peggy. Sorry. And then the one after that is with the one after that is with Colleen. So next week you'll have Colleen and Peggy helping you out and having these amazing conversations. And last but not least, you heard challenge, and I know you heard the challenge. Well, guess what? We always have our next. It's taking a second to load. Sorry, guys. It's like do 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 do. We are challenging everyone to get your life together. And what we know here in the Mink Life community is that it's better to build your business from the inside out so that money flows from the outside in. That's right. So if you don't have your life together, how are you going to get your money right? You need to show up and show out by taking our challenge. Go to minklifeuniversity.com/life-calibrator, where you can sign up to be a part of our challenge. And next week, and I know these images are loading really slow. Sorry, guys. We are also having our What's Next for Your Business conference. So if you are like, okay, I'm gonna get my life right with with the daily challenges, and then I want to sit down and do some action planning for my business on August 24th, you can hang out with us from 9 to 3 Mountain Time and figure out what's next for your business. Woo! Lots of announcements. Back to you, Peggy.
Now, I have one more announcement. It is a non sanctioned announcement, but I am going to give it anyway. For all of you that are listening live, tomorrow evening, Monica is doing a comedy show. Now, if you are LA local live, come get a ticket and hang out in person. If you are anywhere else in the world, we are restreaming. So you can stream and hang out with Yo and Monica. So you can go to monicamhenderson.com and check out Back to the Basics. And if you're listening on the replay and you missed it and it's already passed, it's okay. They have more shows coming up. So make sure you go to Monica M. Henderson and check out the upcoming shows and enjoy some, let's call it inspirational comedy. And enjoyed so much hanging out with you, Jean. Thank you so much for being our guest today. And I will be with you again next Wednesday, and Colleen will be here next Thursday. And hopefully you guys will get to see Jean because you're going to book a call with him. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Peggy. Thank you, Monica. And thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.